I'm told the tickets were a prize. Yes, they were. You do a lot of these prizes. Look, there are hundreds of these promotions running at any one time. If you're the lucky guy, you get your name pulled out of a hat. While the Sawyer family were supposed to be at Catalina Island, their house burnt down. You consider them lucky? Christ. I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me who offered the prize won by the Sawyer family? Sure. Look, there's supposed to be some sort of supervised draw with hundreds of tickets. But the reality is the Suburban Redevelopment Fund calls me every couple of weeks and tells me exactly who's won. Thanks for your help. No problem. Just wish I could do something for that family. You could put round the hat. A few bucks would really help them now. I suppose so.
Good. I'll put you down for 50. I could tell you were Samaritan the minute I walked in the door.
50? Are you? Good man, Cunningham. You're all right. Yeah, I'm great. Poorer, but great. You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
And where exactly are we going? Let me guess. You want to check out the Suburban address?
Great partners must think alike, Colonel. This is supposed to be the registered offices of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
This is an Elysian housing development, Mac.
So Elysian is an investor in the redevelopment fund.
Looks that way.
Are we done here, Mac? I've got work to do.
Sure, buddy. Thanks for your help. Elysian are investors in the Suburban Redevelopment. So what? If you think I'm putting my pension on the line and harassing Leland Monroe without evidence, you're out of your mind.
Another musical favorite, brought to you by Bullseye brand cigarettes, Hex Williams.
So Elysian Fields builds the houses, while the Suburban Redevelopment Fund foots the bill.
Beer makes you see double, makes you feel single.
You want to...
You're behind the wheel.
So where do you want to go?
Walked out on his wife.
And
And now, national news from American Century Broadcasting.
We came as soon as we could.
What the hell? See him? Saw his picture in the paper. Worked that case with the lady cut up like the Dahlia. Mister, a man like you always loses a battle of wits because you're unarmed. How about
Lynch.
Come
Biggs,
on, you can tell me.
you two investigating the house fire on Kenmore Avenue as well?
Yep. Why?
I had a look around the place while I was out there.
Do you believe the fire?
I deal in facts, Phelps. Evidence of an explosion. No obvious sign of accelerants. Wiring looks intact. Come and take a look at this.
This the heater from the Sawyer fire, Al?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Looks like it was recently serviced.
I have a theory, and it's a theory only. I don't have enough evidence to prove...
Al, if you say it's so, we're listening.
Okay, Phelps. You're a bright penny. You have a gas supply. You have a Bunsen burner as a pilot light. You have a regulator valve, and the balloon represents the gas expanding in the room. Now, the gas has to make contact with the mosquito coil to form an explosion. Let's see if you can work out the chain of events. Good, your regulator's in position.
The gas bubble needs to be next to the coil if it's gonna ignite.
Okay, I'll light your pilot, turn the gas.
You pull the lever on the left to turn on the gas.
So that's how it's being done.
Maybe. There could be a fault with these valves. I've adjusted this one for our experiment, but you need to take it to InstaHeat and see what they say. Their headquarters is on North Harvard Boulevard, number 262.
Thanks, Albert.
You're welcome, Biggs. See you at the next show.
Hey, buddy.
You can drive.
Something?
All right. Where to? You gotta be kidding me. We're driving this?
See him? Saw his picture in the paper.
How are we gonna look getting around in this thing?
Cut up like the Dahlia.
Show?
The next fire. We should go to the factory and see how many of these things are going bang in the night.
You know this Chapman character?
Guy's a freak. Loves fires. He's the kind of guy that we'd like for a lot of things, but we don't really have any credible evidence to pursue him with.
Don't need it?
LAPD detectives, ma'am. We need to speak to someone in charge.
I see. Well, duty manager for today is Mr. Rasick. You should find him in his office.
Why is the word abbreviation so
My
long?
sister's always been lucky when it came to her weight.
Hey, there's such a thing as soap, you know.
With a German drug addict. The LAPD issued a statement saying that Detective Phelps has let down
dull as dishwater, but I'm not with him for the conversation.
New and improved model. They'll be selling these like hotcakes.
What the hell? There are three kinds of people. Those who...
Detective Phelps and Biggs, arson. We're investigating a couple of house fires. What can you tell us about this?
Pressure regulator from a Model 70. Let me take a look. We have a problem. This has been tampered with.
What?
You see this diaphragm? It forms a seal across the saddle here. Gas flows across from here to here. The diaphragm regulates flow. It's been reversed. It's a subtle change, but it means the gas never closes off properly.
So you're telling me that this is not a manufacturing fault or service repair?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design.
You're telling me that you've never had any problems with this heater?
Look, we've changed the design since the Model 70.
These things are still being installed?
It's the demand. None of us could keep up with the amount of housing going up. At the budget end, we're still using some of the old stock. We are installing 100 heaters a week. They're not all faulty.
They're not all safe either.
Are these diaphragms prone to failure?
They tend to go after a while. The rubber lasts quite a few years and then it perishes.
So the guys' names that I've been seeing doing the repairs on the heaters, they're fully licensed and accredited.
Sure, of course they are.
I think you're lying, Rasik. I think some of your men aren't fully licensed. You're desperate to cover your sales.
And how are you going to prove that, Detective? Name me one of my guys who would have overlooked a fault like this.
What about Reginald Varley?
You know about Varley. He's on the run for a divorce interstate. It's not so bad.
You in the habit of hiring criminals, Rasik?
I need guys, Detective. This boom is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I want you to get me a copy of the list of your installers.
Okay, I'll get it for you. There, around a dozen of them. The housing business is going crazy at the moment.
Rehab is for quitters.
This is a long shot. We are not going to roust that whole list.
I want to run it by R&I, cross-reference for arsonists. See if any of these guys have any previous. Sir, I need to use your phone.
Go right ahead.
There are three kinds of people. Those who can count and those who can't.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
I swear, this
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need to know if any of the following names have a previous criminal history.
Okay, Detective, run the names.
Acevedo Ernesto, Clemens Walter, Elgram John, Gable Leroy, Kelligrew Peter, Kuttner Robert, Limehouse Albert, Manning Franklin, Neves Raymond, O'Brien Thomas, Ryan Matthew, Spurgeon William, Varley Reginald, Zurich Stephen.
Clemens Walter, previous conviction for arson and malicious damage. Burned down a house in Westwood in 1942. 4-year jail term.
Thanks.
Ryan Matthew, charged for contempt of court, attempted murder, plea bargain down to assault charge.
Anyone else?
There is a Reginald Varley wanted for murder by Detroit Police Department.
Thanks. You've been a big help, young lady.
She wants a 5-star goddamn wedding.
Your employment roster is quite the rogues gallery, Mr. Rasik. Desperate times indeed.
Do you have an address for Clemens?
He's working on an apartment building on Catalina and 3rd.
What about Ryan?
Currently working at a housing development on Normandy and 1st Street.
Varley, where is he?
Beverly and Mariposa, currently working on a new housing development. Hey, Varley's a good guy. You can't harass all my people.
These guys have lockers.
Yes, they do, but my men have a right to some privacy. Don't you need a warrant or something?
Show him and keep quiet.
Here. Happy now?
Stick around, Mr. Rasick.
Some light reading on the merciless capitalist machine. Ryan wants the world to be a better place, don't we all?
This isn't what we're looking for.
Clemens is a fellow traveler. The company went through thousands of these in the war. Still got eaten alive. Varley has a problem with bugs.
You know that a mosquito coil takes an hour to burn down, Rasick?
No, I didn't know that.
It's the favorite choice of ignition by arsonists. Gives them time to get away.
You're crazy. He probably lives near the canals in Venice. Mind if I leave you to it? I got work waiting.
3 birds. Clemens, Ryan, Varley. Where to, Phelps?
What on earth is that man?
Jesus, Cole. What's wrong with a good old-fashioned black and white? You gotta be kidding me. We're driving this?
Broadcasting at 760
used to be indecisive. Now I'm not.
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going? How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole? Biggs, LAPD. We want some answers, and we want them quick.
Okay, okay. What's this all about? Just tell me what you want.
You know Reginald Varley?
No? Can't say I do.
Detroit PD is after Reginald Varley for murder. You want us to run you in for aiding and abetting Clemens?
Whoa, 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 whoa. All I know about Varley is he gets kickbacks from some developer. Does their work first. Spreads it around if he can.
You're licensed and work for InstaHeat?
I contract for them. So what?
InstaHeat hires arsonists, does it?
I've worked as a fitter all my life. Put everything I had into that house. And my fucking mud shark of a wife gets awarded it in the settlement. She's blowing spics 2 at a time while I'm at work. And she gets the house. Yeah, I burnt it all right. Set fire to that fucker and watched it burn to the ground. I did my time and I'd do it again.
Sorry about the rouse, Clemens. You did the right thing.
Do you know Matthew Ryan?
No. Don't know the name.
You and Ryan are fifth columnists.
And how do you figure that, wise guy? What proof do you have? Been following me to meetings?
We found a pamphlet in your locker, Clemens. We can add your name to the register. HUAC might want to interview you.
That shit was from Ryan. He's always pushing that shit on people. Drives me nuts. He's got it in for the company.
All right, Clemens. You're off the hook for the moment.
Can I get back to work now?
Let's get out of here, Phelps. He ain't our guy.
You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed? Jesus, Cole. What's wrong with a good old-fashioned black and white? Farley's on the run. He might be packing heat. If he's wanted for murder, I say we take the doubt out of the equation and let him have it.
You nervous?
It's been a while.
You were in combat.
In 1917. You know, I never fired my weapon in the line of duty.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. I hope your piece is still serviceable, Herschel.
I may be old and out of practice, but I'm still a Marine, Phelps.
It would be better for our case if we could bring him in, Herschel. LAPD, Varley! Stop or I'll shoot!
Come on, Varley. You can't keep running forever.
Stop or I will shoot! Why did you run from us, Varley?
I'm gonna take a wild guess that you're the same Reginald Varley the Detroit police have an outstanding warrant on. How am I doing so far?
I need a lawyer before I talk to any of you. Reginald Varley, you're under arrest for committing a series of arsons. You're also under arrest for murder. Detroit PD will be putting in a request for your extradition. Until then, your guest is
Arson? You can't hang that rap on me.
Be quiet. Be thankful we don't shoot you.
Are all the cops in this town crazy?
Take him away, officer. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going? Fine. But if the skipper sees us driving around in this, we're dead. How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole?
Are you Matthew Ryan?
Who's asking?
Detective Phelps and Biggs, arson squad.
Arson?
You heard the man.
Well, just put this stuff in the car and I'll be right with you.
Hold it, Ryan. I said...
Son of a bitch.
Those are GI's backyard that's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
He's a one-man wrecking ball.
Move in. I'll take out the van. He's in a company van and he's losing us, Cole. Some partner I got.
He's going to kill those men.
They'll get out of the way.
Only if they hear him coming.
Close in, Phelps. We need to take Ryan down before he hurts somebody. I can't hit a target that isn't there, Phelps.
Jesus, what is he doing?
The tramp! Oh, Jesus!
Put your hands in the air! Why did you run, Ryan?
I was scared.
You got a reason to be scared, Ryan?
Matthew Ryan, I'm arresting you on suspicion of committing a series of arsons.
We have 3 suspects. As much as I'd like it to be Chap,
You drive.
I think it's one of
I need
the
to go
other
over
2
the case
guys.
notes.
Let's get to the station and close this case.
Ladies, how often does this happen in your